I've looked everywhere. I guess Sylvain must still have it. Huh? When did this book get here? Wait, this is mine! And there's something sticking out of it. A letter? Dear author, I read your manuscript quite by accident and duly apologize. However, I also write today to inform you that I enjoyed your story tremendously. I laughed and cried as the heroine overcame her many obstacles, growing stronger with each step. Your literary style presents a unique perspective. I could sense you watching over the protagonist. Wow, so many compliments, and so much attention to detail. A girl's failures are as compelling as her triumphs, since authors are told to write what they know. I believe your tale would not have been so convincing were it not for your own experiences. What? My own experiences? That's a weird way to give praise. Who wrote this anyway? Who would read my story so carefully and then write this long letter to tell me about it? Whoever it is, they must be wonderful. Someone like my dear old uncle. I do hope my letter inspires you to keep writing. Looking forward to the next chapter. Your devoted fan, Sylvain. What? Sylvain? It can't be!
Hey, Bernadetta. Did you read my letter?
How long have you been standing there?
I'm sorry, but I fell head over heels for your story. It's so good, and I just had to tell you about it. So, what do you say? Will you write more? Why don't we talk literature over some tea?
Oh, I see your plan now. You're out to humiliate me. Very clever, but I'm not falling for it.
Ah, Dorothea. What are you doing here?
I was actually waiting to see you.
Were you going to invite me out to dinner? I accept.
Yes, I was. I don't think it would be so bad to share a meal with you from time to time.
How about tonight? I'm busy tomorrow.
That's fine by me. What are you busy with, I wonder? Girls? And more girls?
Isn't it an unwritten rule not to ask about such things? But what a curious turn of events. Have you perhaps got an ulterior motive?
No ulterior motives. If you're worried, we can just pretend this conversation never happened.
No, wait! That's not what I meant. I just don't understand why you want my company now, when you've always been so cold to me. Have you perhaps fallen in love with me?
My stomach just got queasy. You know what? Maybe I'll eat on my own after all.
Fine, I get it. You want someone to chase your loneliness away.
Something like that, yes. If you don't want to, I'll ask someone else.
Don't dream of it. It would be my pleasure, milady. And to be clear, the reason you chose to spend time with me is my family, yes? Or is it my crest? Both? I'm just curious about such things. Say I was a commoner. Would you still have invited me to dinner?
Is this really necessary for a simple dinner invitation? Actually, I have a question of my own. Say I was a hoarse-voiced old hag. Would you still be flirting with me? Would you still want to hold my hand and whisper sweet nothings?
That's a difficult question. I have nothing against mature women, but...
Even if you were an old man, I still would have invited you out. If you were a former noble exiled from his family, or an orphan from the streets, my heart cares not. Just kidding. I just wanted to try saying it. Of course it's better that you have money.
You little... Yeah, that's probably true. So, Dorothea, about that dinner?
It would be an honor to have you join me tonight. And let's not talk about things like this over dinner, okay?
Even if I was an old man or an orphan, huh? You know, stepping in to prevent extortion, that was quite brave of you.
What? Oh, you're you're talking about that time in town. I wouldn't say I did anything brave, really. I just asked what was going on.
No need to be humble. Helping the weak is precisely what a virtuous noble does.
I don't think what I did is quite the same thing.
What do you mean by that?
The point I was trying to make is that some things in this world can't be bought or sold with money. I think I let myself get a little too worked up, though. It's just, when I saw it happening, it reminded me of my own past.
Your past? You were originally a daughter of House Bartels, a minor noble family, I heard. You abandoned your title, and now you live as a commoner. Is there more to the story? Pray tell.
Life was becoming difficult for us, so my mother and I fled from House Bartels. We found refuge in a small church in Fargus and lived there for a few years. A man appeared one day and said that he wanted to adopt me. It was obvious that he only cared about my bloodline and crest. The priest refused to let me go, but the man used his money to overwhelm the church. In the end, I had no choice but to leave with him. That soldier we saw? I guess he just reminded me of my adoptive father.
The man who exploited you so that he could join the nobility. Yes, I understand. But I must confess, that part of the story confuses me. There is nothing to gain from having a noble title. What's so funny?
I never thought I'd hear you question the value of nobility, Ferdinand.
Oh, well, that is not quite what I meant. Using someone else to obtain high status, with no effort and no accomplishment? Certainly you can obtain a title like that, but it hardly makes you a noble.
I completely agree.
By the same token, although you are legally a commoner, in your heart, you are a proud and virtuous noble. That is what I think, at any rate.
Hey, Shamir! Your archery skills were amazing the other day. I couldn't believe it when you hit all those bullseyes. Not a single miss.
It was nothing.
No way, it was incredible. You were incredible. You gotta teach me how to shoot.
Maybe.
That sounds like a yes to me. Are you free tomorrow?
Maybe. No promises, though.
Come on, Shamir, don't be like that. Wait, is this because you don't think I'm good enough? That can't be it.
It's nothing personal. As someone born in Dagda, I'm not very fond of the Empire.
Dagda? Where is... Oh, you mean where they had that war with the Empire a few years back? The country west of Fodlan. Across the ocean. That Dagda?
That Dagda. But that is behind us.
I had no idea. I understand why you'd hate the Empire so much, though. My father was a major general in that war. He led an entire army. If I were you, I definitely wouldn't want to train the son of someone who killed all those Dagdans.
You misunderstand. I harbor no ill will toward your generation.
Huh? Well, then what does this have to do with you teaching me how to shoot?
I simply have other commitments. I don't have the time to teach everyone, so I can't make any promises.
That's your reason? You're just too busy? I thought you hated me. I guess I had nothing to worry about. In that case, I'm excited to get to know you better. Let's leave all that Dagda and Empire stuff in the past.
Shamir, you are training away from the ground of training.
Ah, Petra. Well, it looks like it might rain.
I have understanding. Rain training can cause unhealthiness. Can I give you a question now?
Sure.
You come from Dagda, I think. Why are you working at the monastery?
You can tell I'm from Dagda? Oh, I suppose Brigid is our neighbor. As for why I work here, that's simple. I work to live. Rhea took me in when I had nowhere else to go. I'm here to repay my debt. I don't plan to return to Dagda anytime soon.
But Fodlan is an enemy for you, right? Are you feeling okay about that?
The only ones I've fought in person are the Imperial Army. I carry no ill will toward anyone else.
I have gratitude for your answering. You have given me understanding.
How about you? Do you hate them? The Empire is your father's enemy, no? And it's Dagda's fault that Brigid got pulled into the war at all. So, do you hate Dagda? Or do you see that as none of your concern?
The fault is not of Dagda. My father made his own choice to be joining the war. I cannot say I have no hatred for the Empire, but I do not have any for Edelgard. When I came here, she was always helping me.
Makes sense. You can hate a country without hating its people.
You speak with such honesty. It is very amazing.
I'm not that special. I just don't let emotions get in my way.
What is on my agenda for this afternoon?
Professor Hanneman, may I have a moment of your time?
Ah, it's you. Very well. I am quite busy, but if you are here to discuss my crest research, I would be happy to oblige.
I'll pass on that offer. I'm just hoping you'll explain something to me.
Oh, I doubt if I have anything of particular interest to share.
Why did you abandon your noble standing in the Empire? And don't say it was for your crest research. There are institutes for that within the Empire. You could easily have remained a noble and still been able to visit Garreg Mach, or request the cooperation of the Church.
Certainly that was an option, but I desired a better research environment. Treasures and holy artifacts reside here that cannot be examined by someone outside the Church. I required access to those things, no matter the cost.
But surely your noble status would have allowed you greater funding and resources. Even secrets of the Kingdom and the Alliance would have been easier to obtain as a noble of the Empire.
What you say is true. I cannot deny that. Both paths have advantages and disadvantages.
I see you're unwilling to be forthcoming on that topic.
I don't know what you mean.
I've heard that you used to enthusiastically research crests for the Empire. You abandoned the Empire, yet retained your focus on crest research. I just wanted to know why.
I feel your suspicions of me are unwarranted. I haven't the time now, but perhaps I will tell you more if the opportunity arises.
That song. Oh, hello, Edelgard. Professor Manuela, that song you were humming. I feel as though I've heard it before, long ago. And I'm sure it was you singing it back then. At the Opera House in the Imperial capital, perhaps.
Why, yes. You must have seen me there. I am flattered you would remember it. I performed with the Mittelfrank Opera Company in Enbar on numerous occasions.
So it was you. I went to that performance with my uncle. I wanted desperately to see it again. But after that night, he took me to seek asylum in the kingdom. When I returned to the Empire several years later, you had already retired.
Oh, that's a shame. So you only got to hear me sing once?
Sadly, that's correct.
Yet you still remember it, even the melody of the song I sang. I'm honored.
That's how much of an impression your voice left on me. I must ask, why did you retire so soon? You could have continued for another 10 or 20 years.
Indeed, many singers perform for decades. But that wasn't for me. I wanted to go out on top. My voice is a gift from the goddess. However, as all things do, it will decline with age. One day, I will lose that gift. And so I decided I needed to learn to survive without it, long before that day came. I needed to prove to myself that I can live on, even after my voice returns to the goddess.
So despite your belief in the goddess, you wish to live by your own strength?
It's hard for me to explain. The goddess supports me both spiritually and emotionally. Everything else is up to me.
Hubert, my boy, it's rather rare for the two of us to see one another with no one else around, isn't it?
Yes, I believe it is.
I was good friends with your father, you know. Perhaps this is fate, eh? Of course, when I left the Empire, I broke off my friendship with him. And, well, everyone else.
You were right to sever ties with such a miserable piece of filth.
Sharp words, Hubert. Contemptible though your father may be, he is still your father.
Don't overcomplicate it. I will not forgive him. Ever. Contemptible is just the right word for the wretch. Do you truly know what kind of man my father is?
I assume you're talking about the insurrection of the Seven. At the time, I was already at Garrick Mach. I know nothing more than hearsay. That said, I found it hard to believe that Lord Vestra would challenge the Emperor like that.
Yet that's exactly what he did. Since the dawn of the Adrestian Empire, House Vestra has served House Hresvelg as the Emperor's right hand. My father spat on a legacy of loyalty and devotion that had lasted 1100 years. He conspired with the ministers to usurp power from the Emperor and Lady Edelgard.
In your father's defense, the Emperor was attempting to take power from the Seven Houses. The Emperor's reform was an attempt to concentrate power in the hands of the throne. The nobles put a stop to that. Emperor Ionius lost the ensuing power struggle.
Now it is the nobles' turn to suffer defeat. Lady Edelgard will be Emperor.
You hope she can cease this never-ending conflict? That's quite a goal, Hubert.
My princess is lovely. My princess is fair. She sings like cicadas in midsummer's air.
Cicadas? Those noisy little bugs that swarm about, endlessly mingling with one another?
Oh, good point. I will revise. My princess is lovely. My princess is fair. She sings like a swallow in midsummer's air.
Migrating birds. Never sticking around for long. Always off to find love somewhere else.
Oh, no, what I meant was,
Oh, Ferdinand, you're just not yourself today. You don't seem focused. Your poetry lacks poetry. Perhaps a break is in order.
I would not dream of stopping now. This is my golden opportunity.
Pardon me?
We are finally alone. Just the two of us.
Why, yes, we are, aren't we?
You see, Manuela, I have long admired you.
Is that a fact?
I saw you perform countless times while you were with the opera company.
Oh, I see. So what did you think?
The figure you cut, that heartbreaking voice, I was mesmerized. That is why I am tongue-tied. I am nervous about speaking to you alone, after idolizing you for so long.
There's no need to be nervous, Ferdinand. That songstress you recall is long gone. I get nervous too, you know. But I want you to feel relaxed around me. Understood?
Yes, yes, I promise to try.
You're really full of surprises, you know that? I assumed you'd be more interested in combat than the arts. Come and chat sometime? I'd love to hear more about how my performances mesmerized you.
Ah, Linhardt. Reading as studiously as ever, I see. Anything to do with crests?
Hello, Professor Hanneman. Actually, this book's about fishing.
I didn't realize you were interested in fishing. What an unexpected discovery. I had heard that you were only interested in crests, to the exclusion of all else. As it were, I had rather thought I could train you as my successor, should we get to know one another better.
I'm sorry to betray your expectations. Truth be told, I've been thinking of giving up on my crest research.
What? Whatever for? Don't tell me you believe fishing to be a more worthwhile pursuit.
No, it's nothing to do with fishing. I adore the subject of crests. But to study them, you have to consult the people who bear them, right? I just don't have the energy for that.
It is an unavoidable hardship, I admit, but the satisfaction of making a real breakthrough is second to none.
I'm sure the satisfaction of catching a fish is pretty great too.
Consider this, child. Luring fish from the depths pales in comparison to untangling the mysteries of a quest. Why? It all comes down to purpose. Purpose, I say.
Calm down. I get it. Really.
Evidently, you do not. You must have something to work toward in life. The ultimate goal of fishing is to eat the fish. The goal of solving the mysteries of crests is, well, you must find that for yourself. What do you hope to uncover once everything is finally explained? What motivates you to keep digging deeper?
I had never thought about it like that. Perhaps if I did have a goal, I might share your enthusiasm on the subject.
Ah, time to relax.
Professor Hanneman, do you have a moment to talk?
Of course, Miss Dorothea. Whatever is on your mind.
I heard you were once a member of the nobility, and you surrendered your title to come here.
Indeed, I was a noble once. Why are you so curious about that?
I knew there was something noble about your speech and your perfect manners. You're always impeccably dressed, too, and you have a certain pride about you. What interests me is that you threw it all away. Why?
I threw nothing away, child. In fact, by stepping away from its trappings, in my heart I feel closer than ever to the true meaning of nobility.
How so?
Consider this. At its inception, the concept of nobility assumed that the greatest among the populace would rise to power. In my mind, I believe that means those who value knowledge, those who strive for more and wish to protect and guide their fellow man. However, in practice, nobility often serves to keep those deemed commoners down, segregated from those who, by chance, were born to a noble family. That is one of the reasons I decided to leave that nonsense behind and dedicate myself to the study of crests. Though I have abandoned my position, in my mind it was to pursue what I consider to be a truly noble pursuit, that of knowledge.
I see. Well, you're definitely a noble in that sense of the word. To pursue such admirable ideas without regard for your social position. How wonderful.
Pardon?
Oh, it's nothing. I was just very moved by your words.
Ah, well, I'm quite pleased to hear you say so.
Professor Manuela, it's been far too long since we've had a proper chat. Let's fix that right now.
Too true, Dorothea. We hardly have a moment to spare here. But it's so nice to see you flourishing. It certainly brings back memories. You know, somehow you've gotten even prettier. The years have been kind to you.
That's something like a rose telling a daisy it's pretty, but I appreciate the compliment all the same.
Oh, honey, if that's the case, I hope you'll work hard to never become a rose like me. Too many thorns.
Oh, stop it. You've accomplished a great deal. You should be proud.
That's a very nice sentiment, and I appreciate it. Thank you. So, I've been dying to know, how did you come to be enrolled here? I know you didn't have any family connections. How'd you do it?
Well, it did require pulling some noble strings. But learning everything to pass the entrance exams, that was all me, and very hard. Especially while I was still singing for the opera. But I wanted the academy more than anything else.
Well, bravo, and well done. You've always had to find your own way in life, haven't you? I so wish you could rely on people more often. Still, though, you haven't said why you worked so hard to get into Garreg Mach to begin with.
Isn't it obvious? Because you were here. When you retired, it broke my heart. But it also woke me up. Seeing someone like you, who shined so brightly on the stage, give it all up and start a brand new life. It got me thinking about my own future, and what I wanted it to look like. As ever, I followed your lead.
Oh my. I don't know what to say.
I had also heard that the heirs to the Alliance Empire and the Kingdom were all enrolling this year. With such an exceptional crop of potential spouses, how could I go anywhere else?
And have you gotten what you were after? Your dreams, a future, and a good partner?
I'm sure I'll find my somebody someday, but I haven't found them yet. It's so nice to spend time with you again, Manuela. It's been too long.